Hey everybody, my name is Grimace. You are watching Hike California. On this channel I talk about hiking, backpacking gear in the state of California. If those kinds of things interest you, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell. I haven't done a gear video in a while. I haven't done any overnight trips this year. I'm starting to plan, I've got some big trips coming up, and so I'm starting to sort of look at my gear loadout. And I've made some changes in my system this year, so I wanted to kind of just do a quick video and show you my system for 2021. I've gone a little bit lighter. I am actually at ultralight weight now. I'm below 10 pounds. And that's not for everyone. I really enjoy it, and here's why. It's not anything to do with like, oh, I want to crush 20-mile days. I mean, I would love to, but my body just won't do it. But for me, it's exactly that reason. Like, the less weight I can carry, the better I can feel after a hike. My body just doesn't hold up super well to big miles. I can't carry a 40-pound pack. I can't carry a 30-pound pack. So for me to just lighten up and just make my experience a little bit better, a little bit more enjoyable for myself is really important and honestly necessary. But it's not for everyone. So if you like to bring some more creature comforts, that's fine. No one's judging you, or at least I'm not. So anyway, so with that in mind, this is my setup for the 2021 summer hiking season. Let's start with what I wear on my body. First off, I wear a hat. Usually I'll just wear one of these, this is the Tahoe Rim Trail Association trucker cap. Sometimes I'll bring this Outdoor Research. You'll see this in a lot of videos, this Outdoor Research Sunrunner cap. And it's got this piece that hangs down that keeps the sun off of my neck. I'll talk about this quite a bit through this video, but I have a real love-hate affair with the sun. The sun. Because I love it for obvious reasons. It gives us life. It, creates beauty. But it also burns. And I don't like to wear sunblock. I don't like to put it on. I don't like the feeling when it's on my body. I don't like to stop and do that. I never think to stop and do that. It runs off, it gets everything mushy, it gets in your eyes. I just don't like sunblock. And so, as much as possible, I try to cover my body up with clothing. So this is really good for that. When I'm wearing this shirt. This is my primary hiking shirt. This is an Arc'teryx Cormac long sleeve shirt. It's got the zipper on the chest, so you can vent it. It's got a sort of a taller, like a mock collar to kind of keep a little bit sun off, but there's no hood. It is full sleeve, so you can get that coverage. You can push it up, obviously, to if you need more. I really love this shirt. It's super lightweight. It's super breathable. You can vent it. It's got everything that I was looking for in a shirt that I had a really hard time finding, and I found it in this shirt, which is great. It's also smell resistant, odor resistant, so it's really great. I love this shirt. But lately, because I don't know, this hat, which I wear with it, is gray. It's pretty dorky. It makes me feel a little self-conscious on the trail, which I guess is dumb. But I don't love this hat. So what I have been doing some lately, or what I'm intending to do more of this year, is to wear this. This is a Patagonia. This is a Patagonia Tropic Comfort sun hoodie, I think. So it's got a hoodie. It's got the hood, and it's got thumb holes, so you can wear it down over your wrists and kind of cover your hands and get the sun off of your hands. And it doesn't vent, but it does vent a little bit. It has a little button, but that doesn't really do anything. So I can wear this with a baseball cap, and that gives me pretty good coverage. Again, keeping the sun off of my body. I usually bring Glacier Glove Ascension Bay sun gloves. That's all they are. They're just sun gloves. And I just wear them on my hands, and they keep the sun off my hands. Now, if I'm doing any sort of technical climbing, there's a little bit of grip here, which is helpful. I don't really find that they help that much there. They're not much of an aid on that, but it is, sort of a nice side benefit. But I really love these gloves. They're super comfortable. I forget that I'm wearing them. Again, really super breathable. The top is sort of a mesh that just breathes really well. So I love these gloves. I've been wearing these for a few years. And when I'm hiking, I will bring my Sun 2 Ambit 3 watch. This is a GPS watch, so I can record my route with it, which I do a lot of, especially on my training hikes, to kind of gauge how fast I'm going and, you know, how much, how my fitness is improving. It does come with a heart rate strap. I will typically only wear that on my like serious training hikes. This is a great watch. I really, really like it. It's the Sunto Ambit 3 Peak. I don't know if that's meaningful, but it says it right on there. So then for the bottom, I wear running shorts. These are nothing special. These are just, you know, Nike 5-inch inseam running shorts. There's nothing particularly amazing about them. Dry fit. I don't even know what they're called. Maybe Challenger? I don't know where I got that name. It's in my head, though. So I'll wear these. I like running shorts because they dry super fast. They're water resistant. They're built to sort of shed water on the trail. So in Southern California, we do have quite a few overgrown trails, brush downs, blow downs, which can be tricky with shorts because, you know, you'll get your legs are pretty exposed. To me, it's worth the trade-off, but, you know, a lot of people like to wear pants. Totally get it. Completely a personal choice. These things are getting a little rough. I can see I've got a hole here in the back. They're definitely showing their wear. It might be time to find some new ones. Honestly, I just got them at Ross. Like, they're nothing incredible, but they work for my purposes, and they've got a little pocket. I'll keep my car key in here, so while I'm hiking, it's just kind of tucked away by itself, minding its own business. They've got a liner, a brief liner in them, so I don't have to worry about underpants. Everything is protected. Everything is where it needs to be. So that's great. I bring a buff every time on the trail. I usually wear it as a neck gaiter. Sometimes I'll wear it as a do-rag. Sometimes I will... it has many purposes. Once I'm in camp, I use it as a towel. I use it as a pillowcase. I use it for a lot of things. So always a buff. I have a couple of them. This is one of them. I always bring Darn Tough socks. These are wool socks, lifetime guarantee. I really fought the Darn Tough thing for a long time. I wanted to be, I guess, an original. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I wore the Injinji toe socks, but I go through them. I tear right through them really quickly. So with Darn Tough, this is still the first pair I have two pair, but I still have the same first two pair I ever bought. I have yet to go through a pair of Darn Tough socks. But if I do, I can exchange them for new ones. That's part of the deal when you buy them. Keep in mind, obviously, I do very low mileage compared to many other backpackers, but still really useful. Wool, so they're odor resistant. They stay pretty clean. Big fan. To help them stay clean, I use Dirty Girl gaiters. So these are really inexpensive gaiters. They're fantastic. They have a little Velcro on the back, so you can, if you've got a gaiter trap on your shoe, you can attach it there. Got a little hook to attach to the front of your shoe. And speaking of shoes, I am in the Ultra Lone Peak 4.5s this year. So I was in the 4s. I bought these at the beginning of 2020, and I thought that I was going to go through the 4s relatively quickly, but then obviously 2020 being what it was, I didn't get that many miles on the trail. So these have actually just been sitting. I've actually got like two other pairs sitting over here that I thought, I don't know, I just buy shoes. But what I love about the Lone Peaks is they've got this really extra wide toe box. I have some custom orthotics in there, so they match my feet really well. They breathe so well. The reason I like trail runners instead of boots or hiking shoes is just they're super breathable, super water resistant. Even no matter what boot I wear, my feet get wet anyway. So I would just rather have something like this that's meant to shed water. It's got a rock plate, so I don't feel every pebble on the trail. I really love these shoes. So far, so good. I've got a friend who has upgraded to the 5s and loves them. He was also in the 4s, and he jumped straight to the 5s. Because I've had these sitting on the shelf for so long, obviously I'm going with these. So 4.5, Ultra Lone Peak 4.5. Now let's get into the pack. Starting with the pack itself. This is a Katabatic Gear Knik Liteskin 40-liter pack. This is a frameless pack. They don't make this pack anymore. I don't know why not. This is a great pack. I go back and forth. I have a few packs that I use. This year I really want to try to stick to frameless for the entire season. Now that my base weight is low enough, I really feel like this will be beneficial just as far as like just the lighter weight. I've talked in the past about framed versus frameless. Definitely a decision for you to make. I love them. It has this big front pocket here that I really like, but I really love this. Just get them out of the way. I do have trekking poles, Cascade Mountain Tech, carbon fiber trekking poles. Do I love them? No. These are the sort of the inexpensive, but they do the job. They hold up pretty well. They have the locking mechanism, so you can, you know, make them, extend them or shorten them. This is also, I use these primarily as the poles for my shelter, which we'll talk about in a moment. But they're good. They're fine. You know, I don't have strong feelings one way or the other about them. They're not exactly like my dream trekking poles, but I don't know what those look like anyway. For hydration, typically I will carry 2 1-liter Smartwater bottles. This is just one 1.5 liter bottle. It's just fuss free. I love a Sawyer Squeeze, the full size squeeze. I don't like the micro. I don't like the mini. But the full squeeze is going to give you just super fast flow rate. It holds up really well. It's really just fuss free. It's really simple. The last thing I want to do, I drink a lot on the trail. I drink a lot of water. And so when I'm at a crossing or when I'm at somewhere where I can get water, I just want it to be fast. I just want it to be as simple and efficient as possible. I don't want to be messing around with like with any sort of a fussy system. I just screw it onto the top. It threads right on. If, you know, for whatever reason I don't want it on, it comes right off. So very big fan of the Sawyer Squeeze. In the front pocket of the bag, I have I keep my sunglasses here. Obviously I wear prescription glasses, so switching in and out of my sunglasses, I just keep them in the front pocket so they're easily accessible. Usually once they're on, they're on. But this way I just always know where they are. And then for the most part, everything here is stuff that either gets super wet or super dirty, or can get super wet or super dirty. So that includes my raincoat. This is an outdoor research Helium 2 raincoat. Pretty lightweight, pretty simple. I'll sometimes use this as an extra layer if it's a little bit cold. It fits over my other layers. It's just, again, just not fussy. It's really just does its job. For 3 season, especially in Southern California where it never rains, this is really just a just in case piece anyway. So no real downside to it. Moving further down, this year I am switching to, I'm trying cowboy camping. So what I'm bringing instead of a full shelter is I got a sling fin split wing ultralight tarp. And this guy will be up just in case there is inclement weather, just in case I want a little bit of privacy. I may convert it into being like a full-time shelter. My plan right now is that this is just for emergencies, and then I'll just sort of sleep out cowboy style. We'll see how that goes. I've never done it before, but I've been thinking about this setup for a long time. This wasn't a spontaneous decision. I'm really excited to try a tarp setup. So this is the sling fin split wing ultralight tarp. And then with that is a Tyvek ground sheet. So I just lay this out, put my sleeping pad over the top of it, and that's my shelter when I'm cowboy camping. And then obviously I can throw the tarp over it. Also down in here is a stake bag with my 6 DAC J stakes. I think they're called DAC. That can't be right. It sounds right. Yeah, DAC. So I don't know. These are new. They came with the sling fin, so I'm going to try them out. One thing before I get in is I do have a shoulder pocket on this camera. I just put my phone in here. I like to have my phone accessible through the day. I use it for Gaia. Gaia GPS is an app that I use to navigate. I use my phone kind of frequently through the day, so I like to have it here very accessible. Moving into the bag. The top, my poop kit. Previously, I've always used a backcountry bidet. This year I am switching to a toilet paper system because A, I rarely use the restroom. 2, I have found with my setup, especially with like a larger water bottle, it just gets a little fussy to kind of like thread it on and make sure you're aiming things correctly. And I think that the backcountry bidet has a lot going for it, but in a very practical sense, I just think like, when I gotta go, I gotta go. So I don't want a lot of fussing around. So I'm just trying this year. And then I've got a little bit of soap in here, just Dr. Bronner's soap. I've got my Deuce of Spades trowel, super light, ultralight trowel. I carry a little bit of Purell with me. Sometimes I'll hang that off of my pack just so I can use it for other things. And then new this year, John Kelly turned me onto this. Thanks, man. These are called Whizzy Wipes. So they're towels, and you pour water on them and they expand, and then you've got a wet wipe. So they are amazing. They weigh less than a gram. They don't even register on my kitchen scale. So I'm going to bring a couple of these just for cleanup, and that's that. Moving on, in my little ZPacks stuff sack, just the small ZPacks stuff sack, is my first aid and emergency. So this is my first aid kit. I don't carry a very robust first aid kit. It's just a couple of bandages. I've got rock tape in case I get blisters, which I do occasionally get hot spots even with the trail runners. It's very rare, but usually if I just cover up my heels with the rock tape, that'll last a full week. And then I've just got some Tylenol or some ibuprofen and some melatonin gummies if I'm having trouble sleeping, which I always am. So that's that. That's my first aid kit. I bring a little Rology cork mini massage ball for my feet at the end of the day to kind of work out my feet. I don't use it as often as I should. This is called Gurney Goo. This is good for chafing. It's good for blisters. It's good for maceration. If your feet are, getting macerated, it's got tea tree oil. This stuff is really, really great. So, it was, developed for like jungle use and whatever. It's really great if there's going to be moisture, but it's also just great as an anti-friction. So I bring it for that. I keep in this bag a little fire starter, a little Bic lighter. This is usually a little fuller than this, but this is a noon electrolyte tab. Usually I'll have a couple in these, usually 2 or so per day, maybe 1.5 per day that I'm out. I just like to drop this in my water at the end of the day and, restore my electrolytes. Helps me recover, which is a big problem for me. This is my thumbprint toothbrush by, I think, Lightsmith. And it's, I've talked about this in the past, but it's just got this grip that you can really hold on to, even though it's really small. It's got this great, huge grip, and you can just brush normally. I haven't always carried the cap, but now I do because it gets gross. And little toothpaste tabs. So these are basically dried toothpaste. I bring, again, however many times I'm going to brush my teeth. Just put it in your mouth. As your saliva interacts with it, it turns into toothpaste. This is new this year. I've usually just brought travel toothpaste, but so far I'm liking it. I've tried it a few times, not on trail, just in life. And then I have a little tiny chapstick. And this also comes from, I think, Lightsmith. They say that this is 2/3 the size of a regular chapstick, even though it's like very, very small. They say that there's as much chapstick in this as there is in 2/3 of a regular size container. I don't know if that's true, but I have yet to go through one. I bought 3 of these, and I have yet to go through one, and I use them pretty liberally. Next up, we have This is a Weeds Outdoors 3-liter dry bag. I usually will have a ZPacks dry bag, but mine got lost. So I'm using this until I get another one. It's fine. It's 0.1 ounce heavier, I don't know. But it carries my electronics. So in this bag is my Nitecore NU25 headlamp. And it's got the mod with it's got a mod with shock cord. So this usually comes with a big, you know, band. But this mod, it can be bought from, I think Lightsmith actually. But I'll link it below. And this is, again, just a shock cord. So you just put this on. It's super light. Love this. This is a rechargeable headlamp. It gives me all the power I need. Pretty great headlamp. There is a lighter in here. Another lighter. I like to have 2 lighters just in case. I have my Swiss Army Victorinox in here. It's got a file. It's got a knife. It's got toenail clippers. It's got a toothpick. It's got tweezers. And the thing that I use probably the most is it's got scissors. So this thing does everything I need it to do. I will sometimes, especially on shorter hikes or day hikes, I'll bring a more robust knife. I don't do any sort of bushcrafting, so I don't need it. But if you like to carry a bigger knife, by all means, this is good enough for what I need. Anchor. I think this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. This usually gives me 2.5 charges on my phone, which is more than enough for most trips, especially if I'm in airplane mode and power saving. This is great. And then I have a little tiny USB to USB-C charger that I use to charge my phone with it. And also in here, what else do I have? I have, so this is empty right now, but I use this as a wallet. So I'll put my driver license in here. I'll put a credit card or bills or whatever just for emergency. I also keep my my insurance card in here, my medical insurance card, just in case I need it. You certainly don't need to, but and then also in my electronics bag I keep a couple packs of silica gel, desiccant, just to kind of suck up any moisture that's in the air and keep my electronics safe. Moving down, I do carry a down jacket with me, or a down hoodie with me. This is the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer hooded jacket. This thing is super light. You get a lot of bang for the buck as far as just like warmth to weight. So also in here is my food bag. This is the OpSack odor-proof sack. I'll keep my food in here. On a longer trip, especially if I have to hang for bears, I do have a ZPacks bear hang kit with the large food bag, and then a rock sack and a little stick for a PCT hang and some Zing It. For most of my 3-season needs, this is more than enough. I just carry one dinner and a breakfast or whatever. You know, if it's 2 nights, then 2 dinners. But it's more than enough for most of my hikes. Which is great. What I'm trying this year, and I've been resistant to this, I'm trying to cold soak. I'm going to try going stoveless for most of this year, except on group trips. On group trips, because I like to sort of have the social aspect of a meal, I will do that. But for this year, I'm going to try cold soaking. So this is a Talenti gelato jar. Basically, just open this up, add food, add water, seal it up, you're done. Fuss free. And then because I don't need a long handle spoon, I got this little UCO spork, or UCO spork. I got this for a challenge video that I'm going to be doing soon, and I ended up kind of liking it more than I expected to. And again, because I have a long handled spoon, but I don't have to like dig into like a big bag if I'm just cold soaking. So it's really simple, so I'm just using this. Moving further down, I have my clothing bag. Again, this is just a ZPacks dry bag. Pretty sure it's ZPacks. Yeah, it's ZPacks dry bag. In it, I have just real simple, this is just a Task Performance Carrollton tee. It's just a cheap t-shirt that I got. It's made of, I think, bamboo. This is just what I sleep in. It's just my sleep shirt. And then I also have these are just dancer pants that I bought off of Amazon, I think. They're called Body Wrapper. They're just like wind pants. So I will wear these in camp if it's getting a little cooler. If there's a breeze on a summit, maybe I'll put them on, not usually. Sometimes I'll sleep in them, although usually not. But they're there for that purpose. And then this is my pillow. This is a Sea to Summit Aeros Ultralight pillow. Works for me. Again, I used my buff as a bit of a pillowcase because this can get a little like crinkly, but it's generally fine. And then I sleep with compression socks on. It helps with my recovery. As I mentioned, that's a big deal for me. I always have a pair of extra socks. Usually they're Darn Toughs. These are Smartwool. I almost never use my secondary socks. I would probably only use it if I was doing a lot of water crossings or something. I like to have them just in case because that's an area I do not want to compromise. If your feet are not doing well, you're in bad shape on a hike, obviously. Also in here is my sleeping pad. Now this is the Thermarest Z Lite Sol. I have it cut down to about torso length. I usually use an inflatable sleeping pad. I've been using the Big Agnes AXL Air. I'm a side sleeper and it's really thick so my hip doesn't hit the ground. I switched to this because I can use it as the frame in my pack. I just sort of fold it in half. As I said, I've got it trimmed down to torso length, so I fold it in half, kind of slide it in there, put it in the back of my pack against my back, and it works as the frame. Right now I'm going to try the closed cell foam sleeping pad. It's been a few years. See what happens. I may switch back to the inflatable pad, but for now, this is what I'm using. Last but not least is my quilt. This is the UGQ 20-degree Bandit quilt. I've been using this thing for a couple of years now, and I love this quilt. It's good for its temperature rating, down to 20 degrees. I can get a little bit cooler if I need it to, or if it's colder, I can get it actually down a little bit more with a liner. But because it's a quilt, I can vent it really easy. I can put one leg out or put both legs out, or even just sort of drape it over my lower half or whatever I need to do. It's a quilt, so it's super modifiable. It does come with some straps, so if I want to put it around if I want to cinch it a little tighter, I can put it around my pad, my sleeping pad. I just really love this thing. It's held up really well. It's super comfortable. It's very lightweight. I just absolutely love it. And then I did say last but not least, but just the other thing is I keep a Nylofume pack liner in here. Anything that I don't want to get wet. So my clothing, my quilt, anything like that, I just put in here, wrap it up, stick this down, and shove it down in the bottom of my pack, and it keeps everything dry. So that's it. That is my ultralight kit for 2021, at least starting out. Like I said, I've got a few trips coming up. I'm going to have some overnights, shakedown hikes in the next couple of weeks before my big trips in July and August. So maybe some things will change, but that's my plan going in. I will put all the weights down below so you can take a look, including the base weight. I'll put a link to my lighter pack just in case that's interesting to you. I'll have another one of these gear videos coming out in a couple of weeks. If you got value out of that video, click that thumbs up button. I would also love to hear in the comments below if you have any suggestions. I'm still learning. I'm still fairly new at this, and I would love if you have wisdom to share, if you see something in my system that you're like, maybe you want to think about this instead, I would love to hear that. I'm always learning. So leave that down below. My name is Grimace. You're watching Hike California, and hey, let's do this again sometime.